Ellen has just revealed the shocking secret. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Screen Trends. Ellen DeGeneres is a widely beloved TV host who helped pave the way for LGBTQ acceptance, and ends each episode of her show by reminding her audience to be kind to one another. But behind the scenes, Hollywood insiders and Los Angeles natives who say they have worked with DeGeneres say she also has a reputation for being rude. Those rumors and stories, past and present, are cropping up again thanks to a viral Twitter thread and a YouTuber's shady retelling of her recent experience as a guest on DeGeneres' show. Here's what they have to say.
Now there's been some reports that Ellen DeGeneres is not as nice as she tries to appear, and people saying that she's just straight out mean. There's
Kevin T. Porter. Kevin T. Porter, a comedian, said DeGeneres is notoriously one of the meanest people alive. The resurgence of people wondering whether DeGeneres is as nice as she seems on TV is mostly thanks to Porter, the comedian and podcast host who stirred up online drama with her viral Twitter thread about her character. Porter crowdsourced insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean in exchange for $2 donations to the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank. His unique charitable giving strategy resulted in nearly 2,000 replies, though many were reactions rather than stories. After the post gained traction, Porter wrote that it was now hard to tell which stories are real or not, so he donated $600 and attached a screenshot of his receipt for 300 stories people told in his replies. It's impossible to verify the accuracy of the stories from the tweets alone, and a request for a comment sent to an email listed for DeGeneres representative wasn't immediately returned. But here's what some people had to say.
by comedian Kevin T. Porter. He said he was going to donate $2 to the Los Angeles Food Bank in exchange for every story about Ellen being mean. And
a former fan. One former DeGeneres fan attached photographic evidence of the host giving away her hard work. When I was 15, at The Ellen Show was doing a contest of fans making a bust of her and sending it to her. Danielle Avaceto wrote alongside a picture of her painting the DeGeneres replica. I worked so hard on this and even wrote her a letter. Weeks later, she used it as a prop in a game and gave it away to a random person with $500 attached to the bottom. Acevedo also attached pictures of the bust being presented on the show's set with 5 $100 bills taped to the bottom. Almost fired. Another comedian said DeGeneres almost got her fired from her serving job over chipped nail polish. Chris Farah also tweeted the link to her stand-up set, where she told the same story. She said in a tweet that when she was working at a restaurant DeGeneres and her wife, Portia de Rossi, frequented, she served the two of them, but that DeGeneres complained afterward. I worked at Real Food Daily and served her and Portia at brunch, Farrell wrote. She wrote a letter to the owner and complained about my chipped nail polish. Not that it was on her plate, but that it was on my hand. I had worked till closing the night before, and this was next morning. Almost got me fired. Farah also told Insider that she was previously a fan of DeGeneres and had watched both her talk show and her sitcom growing up. When my restaurant manager sat me down and asked if I had served Ellen at brunch, I was actually pumped because I thought maybe she'd want to use me for a bit on her show, Farah wrote in an email. I'm an actress and comedian, and at that time I would have loved a break. But alas, it wasn't that. Of course, I was just so surprised she'd take time out of her day to be negative to someone who served her, who was obviously on a lower position than her, and also probably an artist of some kind. It was just petty and cruel and short-sighted on her part. And for what? To put out negative and harmful energies to others is toxic. A TV writer. One TV writer listed off 6 stories he'd heard about DeGeneres. A lot of negative stories about DeGeneres had to do with her treatment of her employees and the people she interacts with for the Ellen DeGeneres show. Benjamin Simon. Simon said that according to his sources, DeGeneres has a sensitive nose and makes people chew gum from a bowl outside her office before talking to her. And if she thinks you smell that day, he said, you have to go home and shower. DeGeneres refuses to read monologues she doesn't like. Simon tweeted that if DeGeneres doesn't like a monologue someone else wrote for her, she'll drop it on the floor and say, I'm not saying one word of this. He also said that DeGeneres is overly sensitive to jokes about animals, giving her past adherence to a vegan diet and reiterated love for animals. She cares about animals, which is good, but so sensitive, Simon wrote. For example, if someone tried to show her a funny viral video and way in the distance a barely audible dog is barking, she'll scream at you and say, can't you hear that animal is in distress? Why did you show me this? Nikki Tutorials. In addition to the recent Twitter thread, a YouTuber who was a recent guest on the DeGeneres show recently shared the negative parts of her experience. Nikki Dejaeger came out as transgender in early 2020 after accumulating more than 13 million YouTube subscribers on her beauty and makeup channel, Nikki Tutorials. Dejaeger said that when she appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show, DeGeneres wasn't as nice as Dejaeger assumed she would be and didn't say hi before the show. While being interviewed on a Dutch talk show last month, Dejaeger shared more about her experience with DeGeneres. Let's just say there is a huge difference between this show and Ellen DeGeneres, and I'm saying in favor of this show. She said, according to a translation, adding that it was still an honor to be featured on DeGeneres show. It's nice that you say hi before the show. She didn't. Later, Dejaeger also said the closest toilet to her on-set dressing room was reserved for the Jonas Brothers. Makeup YouTuber Nikki Tutorials admitted to being the most anxious she's ever been after posting the video. The beauty YouTuber told a Dutch magazine that when she arrived to the set of the Ellen DeGeneres show in LA, she was greeted by an angry, seemingly overworked intern. She also complained that she expected better treatment as a guest on the show, and she was apparently devalued compared to other guests, because the bathroom closest to her dressing room was reserved for the Jonas Brothers, who were also set to perform that day. In another interview on a Dutch talk show, Dejaeger said DeGeneres seemed cold and distant compared to her on-screen personality once the cameras were turned off.
Hier en andere landen is dat gewoon een hele andere wereld. Het zit gewoon iets anders.
Afstandelijke killer.
Tikje.
Kathy Griffin. Other celebrities, such as Kathy Griffin, have said that DeGeneres was mean to them. Griffin has a long-standing feud with the DeGeneres, along with many other people, but Griffin called out DeGeneres in one of her books, providing obvious clues about her identity and writing that she was mean. Apparently that sat so poorly with DeGeneres that she called Griffin and complained, and Griffin told her to her face that she had been mean. She was furious, Griffin said during a red carpet Access Hollywood interview. "Ellen, this is my experience with you," I said. "You've been mean to me. I'm not saying you're a mean person across the board, but you can't, take my story away. It's, my experience," Griffin said. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.